This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. First and foremost, I'd like to give our praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakakadash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostle, my elder bishop, the great millstone, who well and teaching us this truth 100% securely. And I would like to give a salutation to the men out there on the highways and byways pushing the truth throughout the four corners of the earth. And also, I'd like to give a salutation to the Akim and Aqua listening and studying to sort ourselves approved. This is Brother Bayan from the Tulsa, Oklahoma, Hebrew Delight Camp, coming back to you with another quick lesson. And this is just a quick lesson based on the exposure of one of Satan's devices, okay? And that's what which is basically exposing, right? So this is a quick lesson based on the alley-oop that my Akbar Yard just posted on his recent lesson, right? And this is one of many Satan devices that's been exposed, right? Just like you read in Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 10. We'll get that real quick. Jeremiah 49 and 10, and it says, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." See, so that's why he said his secret places, right? His secret places are when he do his dirt, right? Because even when you go and you read what King David was said, where he said, "Hide me from the secret counsels of the workers of iniquity." Okay, and these are the workers of iniquity who pretty much doing dirt behind the scenes. Okay, they have these organizations that's in plain sight that they use to continue wickedness. Okay, and so when you read this article, it says the DOJ charged Southern Poverty Law Center with fraud over secret funding of extremist groups. Okay, so these are the extremist group that were probably responsible for setting those bricks on the sideline whenever a protest is supposed to take place. Whenever when people randomly pop up these TikTok videos and that's supposed to be a peaceful protest, and then all of a sudden you have a pallet of brick on a corner somewhere, okay? Or how about Chicago, where there was a video where they had a whole train freight full of guns, okay? These are the group that are responsible for those type of wickedness that goes on, and I'm just scratching the surface, right? So let's continue in the article. It says, the Department of Justice said the Southern Poverty Law Center has been indicted on charges related to secretly funding right-wing extremist group that is claimed to be battling, okay? Claimed to be battling. So let that sink in right there, okay? So the Southern Poverty Law Center, let's get a quick article right here, because this is what their mission statement, this is what they're supposed to be doing. But in this article, it's exposing them for actually funding the very group that is pretty much against the so-called Black, Latino, Native American, that's racist against the people of the Lord, right? That's just put it plain and simple. That pretty much are doing things that sabotage the progress of a so-called Negroes, Latino, and Native Americans. Okay, so these are one of the many devices that we speak about when we go on the highways and hedges. Okay, so Southern Poverty Law Center, this is pretty much their mission statement when you go to their website.
Like right now.
All right, so this is the website, okay, and this is pretty much quote unquote what Southern Poverty Law Center is supposed to represent. Okay, so they're presenting themselves as if they are pillars of light, or as the scripture says, the angels of light. All right, but in reality they're further along spreading the wickedness, And this is one of Esau Edom, one of his many branches. Okay, so there's a precept where it says they spread itself like a green bay tree, right? And this is part of the branch of that wicked tree that we was talking about, right? Let me go get that real quick. Spread himself as a green bay tree. That's precept that my Akadar always bring up. Here's the book of Psalm 37 and 35. We get it real quick. Psalm 37 and verse 35. And it says, I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Okay, so that, and this is what is being exposed right before your eyes is the wicked, and it's one of Satan's many devices. Okay, which is pretty much a branch of that wicked tree. All right, loosely paraphrasing, like metaphorically speaking. Okay, so let's go back to the original article. All right, because it says, reading on, it said the Department of Justice on Tuesday announced bombshell 11-count fraud indictment accusing Southern Poverty Law Center of secretly funding leaders and organizers of white supremacists, racists, and other hate groups that civil rights group claim to be battling. The Southern Poverty Law Center paid informant field sources engaged in the active promotion of racist group at the same time that the Southern Poverty Law Center was denouncing the same group on its website, alleged the indictment returned by grand jury in the U.S. District Court in Montgomery, Alabama on Tuesday. Okay, so now you see that this is how he operate, man. Okay, so this is yeah, let me see. I don't think I read this paragraph. So this is said the beacon of hope for 55 years. The Southern Poverty Law Center stands on a beacon of hope, fighting white supremacists and various forms of injustice to help create a multiracial democracy where we can all live and thrive. Today's call for us to maintain our resolve in the face of another fight for justice. So yeah, this is that paragraph of the wicked, of them showing themselves as the angels of light. Where we go get that real quick. Get that this is 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 13. And that reads, and it says, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of the anointed, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And see, and that's exactly how his devices operate. All right. Matter of fact, when you go back and you read 2 Corinthians 2 and 11 in a blue letter, and you get that word for device, right? Because it said, let Satan to get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And that says,
Strong's G 3540, Naima.
All right, and then so the devices in this case is biblical outline usage is mental perception, thought, and evil purpose. Okay, so we're one of his many evil purposes. His scheme is being exposed. Okay, and another meaning is that to that which think the mind, thought, or purpose Strong definition, a perception, i.e. purpose, or by implication, the intellect, disposition itself, device, mind, thought. Okay? So, which it goes into Esau's scheme. All right? And you read the same verse, 2 Corinthians 2:11 NLT, it says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil scheme. Okay? So now his schemes are being exposed and it being brought to the forefront. Okay, and that's a beautiful thing in itself, because now we know with all of these things happening, with Esau being exposed, that's the word. You know, Jeremiah 49:10, it says Esau is gonna be made bare. Okay, so you know, I just wanted to bring this out, you know, and it's just another alley oop that my Akbar y'all just posted on the lesson, man. You know, Esau being made bare, and that's a beautiful thing to think about, man. So, uh, you know, there's so many angles we can go about on this, right? So, you know, but I'm gonna just leave it there, man. Just to further prove that this is one of Satan devices, and many more is gonna continue to be exposed, like Black Lives Matter, all of these other organizations that Esau used just to keep Yasharallah down is being exposed and being brought to the forefront, man. So, you know, that's a beautiful thing in itself, you know, and man, Lord willing, we'll be keeping it, you know, keep a watch and have your how about you outside protectors in the meantime, man. So I'm gonna just leave it there, man. Lord willing is edifying with that, and we give our praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles, my elder bishops of Great Millstone, who were well in teaching us the truth, 100% securely. Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.